Manufacturer Leslie Tassel so loved horses that he began raising show horses along with zebras and other exotic animals on his farm at the corner of 32nd Street and Schaefer Avenue. Today, this Kentwood farm continues to be a home to horses, not for show, but horses with a purpose of helping people as part of the equine assisted development. Founded in 2009, EAD, as it is usually referred to, focuses on using non-riding horses to help people, especially children, grow and heal from damaged and warped views of themselves. Founder and Executive Director VanderBand will talk to us about equine-assisted therapy and will lead us through how this program works.
Down on your parade, I know you feel like there's no end in sight. Far off in the distance I see a better day, where dark clouds fade to a clear blue sky. Days like this don't last forever, and I'll be there to see you through. You can run for the shelter of my loving arms. I'll be your one place to land. I'll keep you safe from harm. When the weight of this world drags you down, I won't let you fall. I won't let you fall. When the waves come crashing down upon your fragile heart, thrown off course and far from home, I'll lead you on to calmer waters and guide you back where you belong. Days like this don't last forever, I'll be there to see you through. You can run for the shelter of my loving arms. I'll be your one place to land. I'll keep you safe from harm. When the weight of this world drags you down, I won't let you fall.
Now we're with Deb VanderBand, who's the Executive Director for EAD. And Deb, tell us a little bit about how you got into equine therapy.
So back in 2006, actually a girlfriend of mine called me and asked me if I would like to do an experience with her for a weekend event, which would certify us as equine specialists through an organization called Equine Assisted Growth and Learning Association. And I went, fell in love with the process, and ever since then have committed to putting horses to good use, as well as helping and serving our community.
So tell me a little bit about, you're a long time, you've been involved with horses for all your life, correct?
Since 2000, my husband bought me my first horse. He really did. And since then, we have acquired several other horses. When I became an equine specialist, I decided to start rescuing horses from compromising positions in life, and that has really helped us to serve a population of horses that usually tend to go to different, they can get go through an auction or be euthanized for their circumstances, and so now we have the ability to use horses that have certain health issues with our program.
So do you look for a specific type of horse, or is there something you're looking for when you're trying to pick one?
Yes, actually. We actually put together a 30-day based trial with all of the horses that we have. We intake them, we put them through a rigorous amount of human contact. We wonder how mentally they are sound. They have to hold on to a lot of interesting emotions that run through this program, so they have to be able to safely work with human beings. So we look for horses that have a good, sound mind, horses that have different personalities. So for instance, if we are working on a trust issue, we're going to probably put a horse that is not very trusting, or a horse that is very trusting, and then a horse that is kind of standoffish when we use them in a program. So we have horses that have trust issues. We have horses that have good relationships with human beings as well as in the herd, because they're in a pecking order in a herd, just like human beings. So we have all different emotions in our herd.
And I was reading about the one horse, Cora, quite an interesting backstory, won in a poker game, left to stand out behind a barn. I mean, it seems like these stories really resonate very well with the people who come here for the therapy program.
It's interesting how quickly a person can gravitate towards the story that the horse has. So each story is posted and they are capable of picking the horse that suits their story. So yes.
So what have you seen? I mean, well, first you weren't actually here. You moved here a few years ago, am I correct?
Yes, we were in Alto originally. I believe for 7 years we established our nonprofit out in Alto, and we have been here for 2 years, going on 3 years here on this property.
And can you tell us a little bit about how you got into Kentwood?
So the property owner in Alto we were leasing from passed away with cancer, and we had to move. And we were looking for property to lease out here anywhere, and found this piece of property, talked to the owner, and she was very happy to go with us to the city of Kentwood and asked that we could bring horses back onto this property. She was glad that we were not going to be putting housing onto this 24 acres, and so she helped us establish the horses back on this piece of property. And then a gentleman bought it and has allowed us to carry on the legacy here of horses on this property.
That is so amazing. And so tell me, I mean, so you've been here a few years, and how are things going? I mean, how's the program going?
It has grown and expanded since we've come into the city. I think we are more accessible to the population in which we work with. The urban community has been outstanding. We have done much with Kentwood as far as through the school systems, and with the Kentwood Arch program. We have done youth groups through Kentwood. So we are very accessible to the clients that we serve.
And tell me a little bit about the program. I mean, what are we going to be seeing here today?
So we do a wide variety of different programs, and today we will be showing you what a team building activity will look like, and we will be also showing a segment on how we work with at-risk youth, and it is called a Join Up, where we have them work with a horse in the round pen. It's quite an interesting and very important piece of information for those kids.
And also, I wanted to add, you work with you bring in volunteers. You have quite, I mean, it's just not yourself. It's a little bit of a village taking care of this.
Since we have been on this property and very noticeable, many people have come to us to help volunteer as far as through barn chores, maintenance, some landscaping, all sorts of things. But we do kind of give people a chance to realize their childhood dream of working with horses. And we have been able to do that for over 30 people so far.
And the program itself, I mean, have you seen have you seen people just improve, or, I mean, tell me a little bit about the results you've seen.
I think that every time someone walks into the arena, we do see a shift of some sort with a client, whether it would be a confidence or low self-esteem. We do notice dramatic results in the arena, and we ask them to align that with their real life circumstances, and so we help them practice those thought processes in the arena so that they can take them into the life circumstances.
Anything else you'd like to say about EAD or just the program in general?
Well, we're very glad to be doing this. We are very glad that we are here in Kentwood. We are very glad that the horses that we have are very well taken care of, and we expect to expand our programs into new territories.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So we are here with the mayor of Kentwood, Stephen Kepley. And Mayor Kepley, tell me, I mean, this has really brought some new life to a piece of property that really didn't have anything going on with it.
Oh, absolutely. You know, we did not know what this property would turn into. We thought that the possibility, a high possibility, that everything would be torn down and repurposed. But for the owner to buy this and do an investment and bring back the barns, the house, and actually added a large facility for special events. This is just wonderful that the Tassel properties have been really brought back to life, given it a new life and a new chapter. It's wonderful to see.
And what do you think about the EAD program? I mean, it's been kind of a really different aspect to having the city.
Oh, I think it's just so unique and it's so powerful. It has such a powerful impact on kids and adults alike. And to have it here in Kentwood, just right almost in the center of Kentwood, is just unbelievable.
Do you find people are amazed that there's a farm, a horse farm right here in the middle of the city of Kentwood?
Well, those who have lived in Kentwood know that the Tassel Farm's been here a long time. For the newcomers, absolutely. It's definitely a head tilt for them.
So great. Well, thank you so much, Mayor. Anything else you'd like to add about the farm or the program?
Well, if you're able to volunteer, I know that they are looking for volunteers, and if you have just the slightest interest, to call Deb and find out if you can spend some time volunteering for this incredible organization.
Well, thank you so much, Mayor. We appreciate being here.
You're welcome.
So, Deb, tell us a little bit about what we're going to do here.
This activity we do quite often with kids that are struggling in the home or at school with different types of situations that have them withdraw, and they almost become so closed off in survival mode as a term. And we prepare them with a horse. Then we ask them to have the horse run around them. And then we ask them that we'll show you. How about if we just show you? Okay?
What is this called?
This is called Join Up. Okay. I'm going to have you stand in the middle of the arena. And I'm going to want you to point your hand in the way that you want the horse to go. And I want you to see if you can get the horse to go around you. Okay? And I want the horse to continue to go around you for a certain amount of time. Once you get that horse going, I will give you more directions. Is that okay? Here you are. You can point that, but you have to stand in the center. And see once if you can get the horse to go around you in a circle. So as a person is trying to figure out how to actually do this, it brings them aware of what they are having to do in the circumstances that they're in. Sometimes things don't listen to them. Sometimes they don't know how to do things. So this begins to paint a picture of them problem solving, staying with something long enough until it works, actually getting the horse to respond to them is one of the greatest gifts to a person. Okay, I want you to stand in the center and get the horse to go around you. So is the horse doing what you're asking him to do? Yeah. Yep. Who is the horse paying attention to?
Not me.
So once you feel like he's paying attention to you, the process of the horse walking up to the human being is a very rewarding and respectful feeling inside. Ask him to turn around and walk away and see if he will follow you. Keep walking. This is called join up, where the horse respects the human being enough to follow them. They have created a bond between each other so that the horse can respect the person that it's with. And this is an extraordinary experience for a 9 or a 10-year-old or a person, an adult that is struggling in life, regardless of what it is. This feels very powerful to someone that has not had this feeling in a very long time. Can they hear her?
No.
What did it feel like though, Mick? When he actually comes up to you and he starts walking towards you, what does that feel like?
He wants to be next to me. Close to me.
So often, people that come here have no one standing with them or being close to them. So it is a powerful experience in so many different ways that we can't even imagine.
So we are here with Sarah Matias, and she is a therapist, and you are also on the EAD board, right? Yes. Am I correct? Mm-hmm. So tell me a little bit about what makes this such a key place for people.
I think, when people think of therapy, sometimes it can raise anxiety, especially with the population that have experienced trauma. Thinking about having to talk about it and deal with things that are uncomfortable. And so what happens with using horses with therapy, it really kind of creates a setting, an environment where it has the opposite effect. You know, when we interact with animals, there's a calming effect that happens in our nervous system, and it's particularly with horses. They're a very large animal, but they reflect back to us what our emotions are, and so they have a really profound effect in therapy. And so it's a unique way to, especially in treating trauma, to bring a person into a situation where they can feel less anxious and begin to open up in a way that they might not in a traditional talk therapy session.
So tell us a little bit about the science behind having an animal or bringing an animal into a therapy session.
Well, on a really basic level, when we interact with animals, both the animal and the person releases a calming hormone, oxytocin, that relaxes us, that just kind of activates our calming system, and it's soothing, and it lowers blood pressure. It is a stress reliever. So that's something that, you know, across the board with now more use of dogs in therapy and other therapy animals. And horses are just, they're incredibly interactive in the way that they feed off of our emotions, and so it's very soothing and calming to people to interact with animals. And we find that with horses, and particularly Mikala therapy, where you're interacting with the horse on the ground. This is not something where we do riding, but actually we're doing activities with the horse in the therapy session. The horse is just mirroring back what the person is experiencing, and so it really results in some incredible insight that you get at a very fast pace that might take, you know, months in a talk therapy session, that you can get much quicker in a therapy session with a horse. So,
and have you seen like some results from utilizing the horses here?
Definitely. In sessions, particularly with people that have maybe had a lot of treatment or they're not very open to treatment, I've seen just resistance or that kind of hesitancy fall away immediately, and some really amazing things happen where emotions kind of get released and come out much quicker and more naturally than they might trying to talk about something. And research shows too that in different Mikala therapy is used all over the world, but in countries where they've really researched the effects of it, they have seen that there are some, you know, drastic improvements in particularly maybe adolescents and kids who are not as keen to talk about their problems and may not have responded well to therapy, in seeing improvements in behavior and a decrease in symptoms very quickly in using horses in the therapy.
So, and this is not, I mean, we talk a lot about the trauma and what people experience. I mean, people experience all kinds of trauma. You know, this helps at all different levels, I guess. Is it something that you can find for that?
Absolutely. There's just so many different ways to use horses with this approach. And so when we talk about trauma, statistics, studies show that the majority of kids in the United States have experienced some form of trauma, whether that's emotional or physical or sexual abuse. Often, you know, just in school situations with school bullying, or if there's a divorce going on at home or other things, there can be some emotionally traumatic things that kids have experienced. And so there's lots of different kinds of trauma, but also with that very, very direct, what we typically would think of, like, you know, combat veterans and the intense trauma that they experience, and even first responders that are dealing, you know, police and firefighters and EMTs that see human tragedy on a regular basis in their work. all of that is something that can be treated with equine therapy in a really effective way.
So tell me, how did you find out about EAD in this program?
Well, I am a therapist at an agency in town, and I had an adolescent client who had extensive treatment and without really any clear results and positive outcomes. And so he had just been transferred to me to work with, and I was kind of brainstorming some different approaches. And so I asked a case manager that I worked with to see if they could find an equine therapy place that I could go and try that with this adolescent. And I was given the information about EAD, and I went, and it was just profound even from the very first session to see how that particular client opened up in a way that they had never before.
So you had been familiar with equine therapy from other projects, then I take it?
I wasn't very familiar with it at all, but you know, I had heard a bit about it, and I was curious, and I thought, you know, let's try something different. And in particular, that client that I was involved with at the time had harmed animals and things, and I thought, well, you know, horses are really big, and so let's see if, you know, this makes a difference and we can try something new. And so it was very profound to watch the impact that had on him.
So how long have you been involved with the program now?
Oh goodness, that was probably 6 or 7 years ago. So I've been involved in different levels, bringing clients, and now working as a board member, being involved here in that way as well.
Anything else you'd like to share about the program or what you've seen?
I think what's very unique about EAD is that because they have a passion about servicing kids and adults both that are at risk, being in the city in close proximity to populations of people that are really struggling with trauma, was a very strong part of their mission. And so they are right here, you know, just on a bus line and minutes from downtown Grand Rapids, and very close to, you know, the urban areas where there's lots of kids and adults that have experienced trauma that put them at risk. So
great. Well, thank you so much for being here with us today. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Caught the eye of a good-looking country girl, and I couldn't help but ask.
So, tell us who you are.
Hi, I'm Dwight Strayer. I'm the owner of 3-2 Ranch here, where Deb is located.
So tell me, how did you get involved with the EAD program?
Well, my wife and I have been involved for quite a while. My wife volunteered for Deb and helped her in the arena, helping healing with what she does with the horses in the equine program. And she lost her lease, and she was looking for a space, and she approached us and said, hey, we have this property here. And long story short, we ended up buying it and allow her to operate here with a indoor arena and a barn for the horses so they're safe. It's an amazing location right in the middle of Kentwood, and we were able to preserve it. The word is that if we didn't buy it, this would all be torn down, and who knows what would be here now. So we're really thankful that we have it.
So the equine therapy program itself, I mean, have you ever seen any results? I mean, what have you experienced through it?
Absolutely. Through my wife volunteering and what I've observed, I've seen tremendous healing. And, you know, there's a lot of hurt in this world. And what these horses do and what Deb facilitates with the horses is incredible. And I've seen amazing healing. I've seen tremendous growth with some of these young girls that have been through here.
So is that part of the reason why you wanted to keep that program going?
Absolutely, yeah. We're huge believers and supporters of Deb, and that's why we wanted to do this.
And anything else about EAD? Anything else you could think that you might want to share about the program?
You know, it's a lot of work, and it's a large property here. She's always looking for volunteers. The program she has, there's a lot of opportunity for volunteers to gain the same healing and to have that same sensation of helping others and reaching out and being a part of something bigger than themselves. So, yeah.
Well, thanks so much for being here with us today. We appreciate you talking to us.
Okay.
Thanks.
My favorite part would probably be the kids and how happy they are, well, how terrified they are at first. Oh, she wants you to scratch her butt. And then how happy they are to even, like, have Kane, like, after everything. And they love the horses. They're still terrified of them, but they like it. They want to come back after.
What does it feel like to be a part of a kid who has never been by a horse before? Tell me what it feels like when you give them the first opportunity to walk a horse around.
It feels like I'm doing something good too. Like, I would say the best part of it is just watching them look at the horses like, oh my gosh, I'm doing that. And they're so proud of themselves for even attempting to do it. And I feel like that they know that's something, like, that even if they're young, they don't know what's happening. Like, what are we trying to do? But I feel like they know by being proud that that was probably how they were supposed to feel.
What's your favorite activity we do with kids?
Probably obstacle courses, because you just know exactly what's going on in the kid's head, because they almost create the same image they're looking at all the time. They, like, will have them going around in circles, and then they'll come around and they just have all these wild things that they have to do. And I just think that's funny, and they love doing it way more than, like, the usual stuff. Tell them to go build an obstacle course, they'll go build something extravagant. So.
Do you notice kids build confidence here?
Yeah, I do, because with the girls,
Tell them who the girls are talking about.
the Manasseh girls, they are the sex traffic victims. They like, their confidence level may seem like they're so confident, and they may, like, show you how cool they are or how good they are. But you know that, like, by their facial expressions and their, like, if you were to look into their eyes, you would know, like, they're not what they think they are, or they're not what they're trying to show you that they are.
And then what happens?
And then they walk out of here pissed off, and then they come back all the same, and then they end up, like, weeks later, they start to become, like, happy, like, genuinely happy. Like, the first couple of weeks that they're here, they're so mad to be here and to have come here. And then 3 weeks later, they have all the windows rolled down in their car on the way here. And you can hear them from a mile away because their music is so loud. Like, they're just, like, genuinely, I think, even if they're not happy to be here, they're just happier as a whole.
Mm-hmm. We bring happiness to people that feel not happy more often, right?
Yeah. Every week someone's asking to live here. Live with Deb.
Do you have one favorite story?
Okay, so yeah, the refugees came for, like, a summer camp. And they were here, and I think they actually had to do a obstacle course that day. Or no, they were leading the horses over the jumps. And the jump was, like, set up over there or whatever, and the kid's leading this little pony around. He goes at the jump full tilt, and then absolutely, he tried jumping it, And the horse is like way behind him because he's way too fast. The horse won't trot, won't move a muscle. He goes and pile drives, absolutely just clotheslined himself and just fell and was collapsed, like folded over the bar. And he gets up, he goes, oh man, and he walks away. Nothing happened. That was just funny.
Why
but
did we get him to go over a jump? Before
that, he was the most terrified of the horses. He would stand in the far corner and just look at them. And then by the end of it, he was trotting them along and falling over the jumps. But yeah, he had a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
So often we do adult groups, small groups, youth groups, but oftentimes we use this for team building activities, for employers and other organizations. And we love doing adults because it gives us a different perspective and it helps us realize new and inventive ways of creating activities for our kids. So today, I have a group of people, 4 of us, and I'm going to ask you all to pick a ball and hold on to it. There's, right? Now, as a team, I'm going to ask one of you to be the leader. So amongst yourselves, come up with a leader. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So as a group, you're going to go and get the lead line, put it on the horse, and then once you have that in place, I will give you the second and final task to do. So the lead line is over on the table. A lot of times people interpret directions differently, and it is a great experience with the horses, and it is enlightening to see how we all interpret instruction. All right. Now you're going to place the ball in front of you. You're going to get on this side of the horse right over here. And you're going to get in a line where the ball is touching the back of the next person in front of you. Okay. Put it up into your body like this. Now you're going to walk this horse and you're going to walk her over the teeter-totter. Don't hang on to your balls.
Sometimes in our lives we all have pain, we all have sorrow, but if we are honest, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry.
So many things come into play with this activity.
It won't be long.
Distractions.
I'm gonna need
What do we concentrate on?
somebody to lean on.
You can stop now if you're feeling uncomfortable.
Swallow your pride. If I
activity is chock full of information. How'd that go?
An adventure.
Stressful.
Stressful. How come it was stressful?
To keep the balls on and get lady on the teeter-totter. It's not easy getting a horse on a teeter.
At least that's what I just learned.
How did it feel though?
Rewarding.
Was it rewarding? How about you, Joanne?
It was exciting to get her on to the teeter-totter and trying to get it all, keep the balls together. It was just, yeah, I was excited. I was happy.
Tim, how did it feel being in the second in line?
I know. I know how to do this, but she did a great job.
Right. So having to be in back of the leader.
It was something new, but she did a great job.
Okay. Okay. How was the caboose?
It was fun to keep everybody concentrating on the ball and take their mind off the horse for a little bit.
Okay.
Just kind of concentrate on doing it as a team versus just trying to get the task done. It was fun to be part of the team and watch the team interact and try their best to get it done.
Did it feel like you got it done?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
And who concentrated on the ball more than on the horse?
I did. Because I figured she had the horse.
Okay.
I didn't realize we had to help her until we got on the platform, and we kind of had to make sure the horse didn't fall off. Right. So.
Okay. This is a great way to do a team building activity. It brings, what does it bring?
Well, you realize that even though you have a leader, everybody else has to help. It's all got to be a group effort.
We're in it together.
Yeah, you have to do it together. So, yeah. So, yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
So, Deb, with all that you've shown us, what do you hope that people take away from all of this?
I hope it brings a level of curiosity to imagine what you could do if you wanted to become or build a program here at Equine Assisted Development. The horses here are so capable of very, very many different activities, and what it is that a person would like to use the horses for. So I hope it brings a sense of curiosity. I hope it also reflects about the self-discovery that goes on here at the barn. It is an empowerment program. We do character and leadership is a strong point here at the barn. And so I'm hoping that we have given a view of the different types of horses that we use. I hope that we have explained a couple of different given answers to questions that people were asking.
And just kind of gave a better overall education, a little bit of an idea of what equine therapy really is.
It is, and we use a non-riding approach, which is very unique. It is interactive. It's very innovative, actually, to create different scenarios for people to discover things about themselves. So, yeah, we're very glad that we can show everyone what it is like to do a non-riding program.
So if somebody's interested in volunteering, learning more about the program, can you tell us where we can get more information?
Well, you could check us out on our website. It's www.eadgl.org. Or you can like us on our Facebook page or follow us on Instagram.
Well, thank you so much for watching. And again, we are here at EAD in the heart of Kentwood on the corner of Schaefer and 32nd Street. And we hope you come out and check it out.
Thank you from the farm.
Pretty flowers getting ready to bloom, but
I'm going to go over this way a little bit more. At the is not for show, but is part of the. Oh shoot! I just screwed up. Sorry. Founder and executive director Deb VanderBand will take us. So now we're with Dwight. Oh, I just said that wrong. Dwight. Dwight.
D with a Y.
Dwight. Anything else about EAD? Anything else you could think that you might want to share about the program, about being here?
Sorry, not kind of threw me there.
So we're with the mayor of Kentwood, Stephen Kepley, and Mr. Let me start that over. I just called you Mr. Kepley. Take two.
For granted. You told me sorry a million times. You said I miss you like a poem that rhymes. Now I got you.